And welcome to another episode of the Nashville Scoop. I'm Chris McKenna.
I'm Ashley.
And this week we went to Cool Springs in Franklin, and we did a brewing company that's only been open less than a year. I think it opened last summer. It's called Huckleberry Brewing Company. And we went there for lunch. So when we got there, it wasn't too busy. There's only... what would you say? That the bar was kind of full. There's probably like about 6 people at the bar, and then I'd say there's probably about
maybe like 6 or 7 other people.
Yeah. So
or groups,
I mean,
I should say.
Yeah. So it wasn't packed, but I know that they were having a little bit of a staffing shortage that day. A bunch of people were sick, so it was really just 1 or 2 people that were kind of running around taking care of everybody, but. Even with that being said, they did a great job. So
yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah. So we walked in and sat down. First of all, I guess we should go over sort of where this place is in Cool Springs. So it's technically on Fraser Drive, I think it is, and it's south of Cool Springs and just west of Mallory. So that's the type of area that it's in right there. It's right next to Sperry's.
Yes.
So
yeah. It's almost in a strip mall. Mm-hmm. So I guess you could call it, but once you walk in, it doesn't feel it.
No, not at all. No, it was great in there. The look of the place, you have your typical brewery look. Mm-hmm. You have all the machines and everything that go along with the breweries there and stuff like that. So the look of everything was great. Nice and clean, kept up, and everything like that. So,
and they had an upstairs level too. That was you could look down. It wasn't like completely closed off. They had a set of stairs. You could go upstairs and dine up there. Obviously, people weren't up there during lunch, but
right, yeah, yep. There's like a couple of different levels. So you walk down into the bar level, and there's a couple of like pub tables that are down there, and then there's some regular table seating that's up like a half a level and everything, and they've also got a very small, like, sort of game room as well. There's it's like an arcade. I guess you could call it an arcade. There's 2 video games in there. You got like Pac-Man and Galaga, and then there's like big buck hunting.
Yeah, and then there's a couple crane machines. Like one's a little duck machine, and then one's just a prize. So it's not one of those, arcades that us parents can dread, like, oh, how am I going to get out of this today? Right. It's not that bad. I'm
going to drop $50 just in video games.
Yeah, if you bring them in for a little bit, it's not a big deal. It's small.
And then outside of that, like, little game room, they also have golden tea as well.
Oh, I didn't see the golden tea.
Yeah, it was right behind you.
Oh.
So there was a little golden tea, and then you've got a bunch of TVs everywhere, so you could always go in, watch a game or something like that. I'm sure that again, we were there for lunch, so it's not like there were any big live sports games or anything like that on, but big TV area. So, I'm sure that they play all the stuff that you would want to see and everything up on those TVs.
And just to add to, as far as a family goes, it would be a place where I would be comfortable taking our boys to.
Yeah.
It's not like, you never sort of know when you're going into a brewery, but it doesn't give that vibe at all.
No.
It's like a pub, but it's not, you can go there to eat, and it's definitely kid friendly. I would be comfortable taking the boys with us to grab a bite to eat.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So again, we went there for lunch, wasn't packed or anything, and I can't speak to how it is at night, how busy they get and things like that, because we haven't been there. That was the first time that we've ever been there. So I guess, if you're listening to this and you want to go check it out at night, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be more busy than what it was at lunch, but I have no idea how packed it gets. So, so we sat down, and the first thing we ordered, we got a couple of beers. So as far as their beer list goes, look on the menu, they had 5 beers. They had a lager, IPA, a tart ale, a porter, and an amber ale. Those were the 5 that were on the menu. So out of those, which one did you get?
I got the hazy loco lager, which was good. It almost reminded me of like a Blue Moon kind of.
Just a lighter.
Yeah, just a lighter
nice
kind
beer.
of little, maybe more citrusy kind of flavor. It was great.
Nice. And I got the amber ale, which is, if you've ever had any type of an amber ale, it's exactly what you would expect. But and it was very good. So I'm always I'm not a huge like brewery, like I'm not going to pretend to know everything about beers. And everybody, I'm sure at this point, after listening to a couple episodes, they know that you're not a big beer person, especially if it's not Coors Light. So,
I mean, I like beer, but I don't know much about it.
Right. So, and I'm not going to pretend to be some connoisseur either, but as far as the amber ale went, and I tried yours as well, I thought they were both great. And I do get a little bit worried sometimes, and one thing I will say, like I'll go in and go to some breweries and they can get very, very hoppy and things like that. And this one wasn't like that at all. I mean, it was an amber ale and a lager, but you could still get like some different tasting beers when you go to certain breweries. And I thought these basically were exactly what we were expecting to try.
I agree.
So that was good.
Yeah.
So we got the beers, and again, we have some pictures and things like that, and we'll toss those up on the YouTube channel and everything, so you'll see those as we go through this. But yeah, so we did that. We got appetizers. Well, one appetizer. What did you want that caught your eye?
I am a mozzarella stick fan, so we got those. I thought they were good. I mean, I really feel like you can't mess up a mozzarella stick.
No, you can.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can mess them up as far as cooking them, where you cook them too much and then all the cheese comes out. But as far as taste goes, right. But I'm still eating it. I'm still throwing that cheese back in the stick and eating it.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I thought they came out good. Like you can get like really soggy mozzarella sticks, or you could get like burnt mozzarella sticks. You could get the ones where you take the first bite and like a whole bunch of like water comes running out of them. You know what I mean? So like you could definitely mess them up for sure. They didn't.
No, I thought they were really good.
No, yeah, they were nice. And again, we do have pictures of the mozzarella sticks, so I'm sure you're seeing those right now on the channel. But they were nice, thick mozzarella sticks, crispy, perfect. They weren't overdone or anything like that. So, I wasn't a huge fan of the marinara.
Of the sauce. Yeah. It almost looked as though like more of a salsa kind of.
It looked that
right?
way. Yeah.
It didn't taste, but it looked it. Yeah.
So it definitely, it was a different texture to the marinara, not something that I would typically expect, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It was different. And if I had a choice to go back for the mozzarella sticks, I probably wouldn't, just because when I have mozzarella, I like the marinara sauce, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. So I probably wouldn't get them again, not because of the sticks, but because of the sauce. But so that's what we did for apps. And then, so we ordered our lunch. You went pretty plain.
I did. Usual. I got the crispy chicken sandwich. Normally it comes with like bacon, lettuce, tomato on it, but you know me, I'm plain, so I just throw a nice little piece of chicken with some bread. But it was on like a Texas toast, which was different, which I enjoyed. Yeah. Because I'm also a Cobb fan and I love bread, so it was...
Well, you like Texas toast anyway.
I do, yeah.
So it's I mean, I think it's always better whenever you have like a sandwich or something like that on Texas toast, as opposed to, just regular bread or a roll or something. I'm a fan of it anyway. So, but it looked good. I didn't try it.
It was really good.
How was the chicken?
Chicken was great, and it was a thicker piece of chicken too. And I find that sometimes a thicker piece is going to be a little rubbery, maybe a little fatty or tender. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't get that. Nice. It was really good.
That's good. Not too much batter.
No, it was a good ratio of chicken to batter. And
Good. All right. So what did you get? You got fries, right?
I did, the regular fries. They were good. They were those kind of fries that like don't go soggy. Like, you can get fries that can. These were really good. Just regular, not super thin, but not steak fry, right smack dab in the middle.
Right in the middle. Yep. And they were fine.
They were great.
Yep. And I got, what was it that I got? I forget. Oh, I got the burger. I got the regular burger. Yes. What do they call it? I just want to see. Classic. I just got the classic cheeseburger. So they had a couple options of burgers. They had the classic, which is exactly how it sounds. It would be your classic burger. They had a brewery burger. What were some other things called, like a Smashville hot?
Yep. Then they had like a hot dog too, a Chicago hot dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had the Chicago dog.
That. A brew dog.
So they have other things as well. They had wraps and some other chicken sandwiches, grilled cheese, things like that. So the burger was great. Like, it was typical burger, and those you can absolutely mess up as well. It was cooked perfect, so there were no complaints there at all. Now, here's the thing with my side, okay? So our waitress / bartender,
Yeah.
she was great, and we were asking her some questions, and she was definitely telling us everything that we wanted to know, and was a big help. And she recommended immediately that for the side that you get the Brussels sprouts, which
And they're
I mean, to
pan
me,
fried Brussels
they
sprouts.
said pan-fried Brussels sprouts, and she said that is absolutely the best thing on the menu. And I mean, I'm typically not ordering Brussels sprouts. I'm not that I'm not a fan, but I mean, I go and order a burger, and I'm not
getting a
usually,
fry. Oh, a
I'm
sweet
gonna get a
potato
fry
fry
or
or
something
something.
like that. But I was like, well, I mean, comes highly recommended. I kind of have to give it a shot, right? I would feel bad if I didn't. So I did. I went with the Brussels sprouts, and they were really good. I liked
they
it a
were
lot. And you tried it too.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I thought they were delicious. You could definitely tell they had some sort of,
So it tasted to me a little, and I tried to figure it out before we asked exactly what it was cooked in. But so it is pan fried, but they put a sauce in it as they're frying it, and it had like almost like a Asian food type taste to it, like a
sweetness,
sweet
yes.
sauce, something like that. So I wanted to see if I could guess it, and that's what I came up with, and it was basically exactly what I thought. She confirmed. I was
Right.
like, "So how do you make it?" And that's what it was. It was like a sweet chili Asian sauce, I think it was.
And then
So,
some sauteed and some onions too, which you're not a big onion fan, but I didn't get a very heavy
No,
taste of
wasn't.
that. It was more the sauce that I could taste.
And as far as onions go, I would never voluntarily eat raw onions, but typically if
isn't
they're
bad.
cooked, I'm fine with it. And obviously these were cooked. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, it was a good surprise, like
Yes.
to order something completely out of the ordinary for lunch with a burger, and ask for Brussels sprouts,
You
which
finished them before you even
I did.
dove into your burger.
I had to try that first, right?
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
were highly recommended, so you had to give that a shot first. And I did. I crushed the whole thing before I even started the burger.
Yeah, I mean, they
So,
were good. And I'm not I would say a Brussels sprout isn't my first choice
big-
of a vegetable.
not a
but,
big vegetable person to begin
Well,
with.
I've expanded my palate, okay? But I would say that it's not my number one. They
Right.
were delicious. They were very good.
They were, yeah. I thought that they were really good. Like I said, like good change. It's just
Yeah.
something different to try, and I thought that they were really good. So, great recommendation there.
Yes. Thank you, Shauna.
Yeah. And she was great. So they
She was
were
awesome.
short staffed that day, and she did a good job. Like, yeah, times were a little bit slow, but she let us know ahead of time. It was like, hey, some people called out sick. It's gonna be, and we were in no rush. So a couple extra minutes, but it really wasn't even that bad.
No,
Like
it
we've
really
gotten
wasn't.
way worse service, like when they're fully
Fully
not them,
staffed,
but
yeah.
like places that are fully staffed, and then they take like 20 minutes just to get back to you, like kind of like the one that we did a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But yeah, so no, it was totally fine. And again, it was just like a temporary thing that day. A couple people were sick, so.
And it sounded like, too, what she was mentioning, that it sounds like they may close down for parties and stuff. You can rent the place out because she was saying they had a big event the next
Oh, okay.
night. So she was hoping everybody would be back.
Nice.
But,
Yeah, no, I missed that. But so I mean, overall, I mean that was basically all that we had.
Yeah.
So would you go back?
I would definitely go back.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good spot
I
for
would
sure.
definitely go back. And especially with the kids, we're always trying to look for something different for them too to try.
Right.
And for us, I mean, not that the food is anything different than what they're normally having, but still,
Yeah,
it's
but
just a
it's always
different
something
spot.
different.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. And it's nice and like wide open. Again, it's like not one of those like areas that's seated so that you're super close to everybody and things like that. Like it's spaced out enough so you don't feel bad about bringing the kids
No,
too.
exactly. Yeah, I
I
would
didn't
be
see any
comfortable.
kids in there, but I think they might even have like a small kids menu or
I believe they
something
did.
like that.
I
But
feel like I saw one
I didn't.
for them. Yeah,
I
'Cause
didn't
that's
specifically ask
generally
for it.
something
But
I will look when we go places because that's sort of like a good indicator. Like,
Yeah.
this is good for kids and
right.
not so much.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they're savages anyway. They'll eat right off the adult menu,
Right.
no matter what. So it doesn't really matter that much. They'll both throw
find
a
something.
full burger down. So that's not a big deal. But and then I think happy hours I saw. So I think that their happy hours are, let me see, I have it written down. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. They have a happy hour Saturday, 12 to 5, and all day on Sunday are their happy hours. So yeah, so it's a pretty good deal.
Nice.
You can go and get get whatever they're offering for happy hour that day at those times. So,
and they did too. We did see somebody have almost like a sample of the brews. Yes. They came out with like 5 drinks.
Yeah, they typically do that. Do a flight of beers.
We don't mind doing, but at a lunch, we're like, we're just gonna have one.
Yeah.
We're both gonna have to go back.
I wanted to try it. I just honestly wasn't so like not a huge like darker beer fan to begin with. Like the amber is about usually as dark as I'll get. Yeah. Voluntarily. But I would definitely try them all for sure. Yeah. It's just
give it a taste test.
I wasn't about to do it all for lunch that day.
I agree.
So, but yeah, they do all the samples like your flight. I think you could probably get all 5. I think it was.
I think so. I feel as though that's what I saw when she was. It makes sense. Someone else.
So, anything else that you can think of that you want to mention? I know that the other thing too is that they also have like a wine list. They don't just do beer, so they do have other drinks there as well.
Different cocktails.
I know that the cocktail list actually looked pretty good. There were a couple. Going to a brewery, I wanted to grab their beer and see what that tasted like. Right. I'd feel a little dumb if I walked into to do a review on a brewery and didn't get a beer. But
I think what caught your attention was actually one of the cocktails.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you were like, oh, I would love that, but we're at a brewery. I got to try beer.
Yeah. So normally if I would have walked in and we weren't doing this, I would have gotten one of the cocktails that they had listed. Looked good. So, they're not like a huge specialty cocktail like list or anything. There was like maybe 5 specialty cocktails that they had. So, but yeah, I definitely would have tried one of those for sure. But overall, I thought the place was good. I like the setup of it. And again, they have an upstairs, so, allow for plenty of people to be in there all at once. They have those games. They have like the claw machines and stuff. You have a golden tea. The bar itself is on the smaller side.
It is. I counted those 10 stools.
Yeah. So it's not a huge bar. Yeah. So I think that maybe going in and just trying to like stand around and watch a game and grab beers at a bar might be a little tough if they get busy, but on the other hand, they have plenty of places to sit and, like grab a pub table or regular tables and things like that. So I think that they accommodate in that way. So, but overall, I thought that everything else was great. I liked the food a lot. I would like to try a couple of other things that they had on the menu as well. I'll definitely go back for sure. Yeah, we're always looking for somewhere different to go and try and
change
things.
It up a little bit, yeah.
Cool Springs tends to be a pretty big area as far as our lunch venues go. So, yes. So I'm sure that we'll definitely check that one out again soon. Anything else you can think of?
Not that I can think of. I would definitely go back. It was a good vibe. It was cool in there. I liked it. Like just the whole. Like I said, they got all fermentation tanks and things like that. That's always cool to see. So
right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I liked it. I would definitely recommend anybody go and try it out. And again, they're a relatively new business. So, if you haven't tried it and you're in the area, definitely go and check it out. And if you're coming to the area, I'd still recommend, taking a look.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
All right. Well, that's it for me. You're good?
I'm good.
All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Talk to you next week.
Listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Watch all of our episodes on YouTube at The Nashville Scoop. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Nashville Scoop Podcast or TikTok at The Nashville Scoop Podcast. If you have any interest in real estate in Nashville, follow me on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok at The Nashville Realtor.